Though the contents of this program provide information taught by certified firearm training instructors on how to properly carry and discharge firearms, do not attempt this at home. All gun handlers should seek personalized training programs in their area to properly learn how to safely carry and operate firearms. Contact your local law enforcement or NRA agency to find certified training instructors in your area.
Having a gun doesn't mean you know how to shoot it. Today on Conceal and Carry School, Howie Drummond takes a break from radio for a lesson down at Tac Pro.
The people who excel at gun skills are the people who have mastered the fundamentals.
Happily married, father of 3, Howie Drummond wants to learn how to protect his family.
If I was ever put in a position to where I couldn't protect them to the fullest, I'd have a hard time living with that.
But what's got Howie so concerned for his family's well-being?
Been threatened, been followed.
Being a local celebrity in the spotlight isn't always a good thing.
Not everybody is your friend, and how do you decipher who's good and who isn't? You don't. Some people are just bad.
Conceal and Carry School is brought to you by Ruger, rugged, reliable firearms. Conceal and Carry School is brought to you by Insight Technology, built for battle, and by Blackhawk, honor as a way of life.
We're following 9 students with little to no defensive training through an intense 5-day course taught by former Special Forces operative and Royal Marine Bill Davison. Today we'll meet family man and morning radio host Howie Drummond. Howie's a local celebrity, constantly in the public spotlight and often concerned for the safety of his family as well as himself.
I love my job, I love what I do, but there's still a lot of potential out there for bad things to happen.
Howie's decided to take preventative measures. Perhaps some of you at home would do well to follow his lead. Join us now on Conceal and Carry School. Many Americans may envy the glamour and fame associated with being in the spotlight. Who wouldn't want the money, the homes, the fashion, and the zeal of being a celebrity? We so often focus on the positive, however, that we overlook the negative. When you're a celebrity, you have fans, but you can't control what your fans will do. And when you consider that media sources like social websites or gossip shows on TV regularly disclose the happenings and whereabouts of celebrities on a nearly minute-by-minute basis, it's easier than ever to find your favorite celebrity. Though few of us will know the rewards of such a lifestyle, we can still relate to the human need for personal safety and survival.
I've been working on Alice 105.9, the radio station, for 6.5 years now, doing mornings.
It's only 6:07.
Oh my God.
And you played that 5 times already.
It's been fantastic. It's probably my favorite job that I've ever had.
Good morning, everybody. BJ, Howie, and Erica here on this Friday morning with the weekend almost here. I'm excited today, and I'll tell you why.
Howie impressed me on the first day I met him. He had that personality. He just, he can carry a room.
I just feel like you have to say it big, like, citizens arrest.
This isn't going to go on all morning, is it?
I have worked with Howie for a year. Howie Drummond is the type of person who will be there for you if you really need him.
I also host a television cooking show here in Denver as well.
On the show today, a really easy home-style dish. It's going to make you look like a rock star in your very own kitchen. Welcome to Food Inc.
Though he's never been the victim of a crime, Howie's choosing to take a proactive approach to his personal defense.
Been threatened, been followed. Quite frankly, I don't think it's fair to my family because of what I do that they could be at risk.
I'm Wendy Drummond, and Howie is my husband. You're always scared of a stalker, especially being on the radio. Howie is very, very protective. I mean, Madison's 10 years old, and he still puts her in a car seat.
I'm Maddie. I am almost 10 years old. I think it's pretty cool having a dad that does different things.
They're everything to me. My wife, my kids, that's my life. If I was ever put in a position to where I couldn't protect them to the fullest, I'd have a hard time living with that. Handguns are everywhere. I mean, you could be standing beside somebody anywhere and they could be carrying a gun, whether it be a good person or a bad person. It's whether or not you know mentally, if a situation were to arise, would you know how to handle yourself, or would you just crumble and be a sitting duck? Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody loves you. Some people are just bad.
Coming up, Howie meets up with 8 others down in Texas for an education on tactical handgun techniques, taught by former Royal Marine Bill Davison. How will Howie compare to the other students?
But first, I had a listener follow me home. I mean, if somebody can do something like that, then, you know, what can't they do?
Kennesaw, Georgia. In 1982, this suburb of Atlanta passed a law requiring heads of households to keep at least one firearm in the house. The residential burglary rate subsequently dropped 89% in Kennesaw, compared to the modest 10.4% drop in Georgia as a whole.
And the address he wanted,
Howie Drummond's been working in radio for more than 15 years. Currently, along with co-hosts BJ and Erica, Howie does the morning show on Alice FM in Denver, Colorado. Howie also hosts a local cooking show. Known as a good guy, it's difficult to believe anyone would want to bring harm to Howie or his family. But that's not always the case. Several scenarios often play out in the back of his mind.
if there's measures that I can take to better protect myself and be safe about it, then I'm all for it.
Every day, hundreds of thousands tune in to listen to the BJ, Howie, and Erica morning show. It's only a matter of time before the wrong thing is heard by the right person.
In the business that I do, you know, you speak your mind, talk about a lot of different subjects. People don't always agree with them. Over the past 15 years that I've been doing it, I've had some encounters with some people that because I've said something that they didn't agree with or something off color, that they take offense to that.
As a local celebrity, Howie's experienced a few close calls.
One thing in particular that really scared me for the first time was when I had a listener follow me home. Now, I didn't even know at the time this person was following me or anything until the following day when they called and told me about my house, the color of the clothing that I was wearing, the type of car. And this went on for quite some time. It's where I had to get law enforcement involved, and it was really scary to think that I could go all the way home, I could make all these stops and not even be aware that somebody's following me. I mean, if somebody can do something like that, then, you know, what can't they do? There's just so many things when you're in the public eye. You know, I had a listener one time call me and tell me that I was talking to her through the radio, like I was in love with her, and you know, I was sending all these signals. There's not a place that I go anywhere that somebody doesn't recognize me somewhere. And I don't mind that. I mean, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you cross the path of the wrong people. Some people are just bad.
Howie meets up with 8 others down in Texas for an education on tactical handgun techniques, taught by former Royal Marine Bill Davison.
The goal of this class is basically to take people who have never or had very, very small amount of training for a firearm and get them all the way up till they're competent in carrying safely, using safely, and defending themselves safely. One of the keys to getting your drills right is to talk yourself through them every time. If you talk yourself through it, you won't get it wrong. So what we're going to do is everything starts from our base position. Part 1, locate the pistol. 2, ready position. 3, up on target.
The biggest thing that we continuously stress from start to finish is always being aware of where your muzzle is at all times, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the situation is, always be aware of the muzzle.
Our goal for this class was to get them safely shooting at 3 yards, 7 yards, and then finally 20 yards.
You know, Bill's not the kind of guy, I think, that you're going to go out and have sushi with. But if you want to learn firearms and firearm safety, I think this is definitely the guy you'll want to come to.
The idea of the ready position is that the gun's always pointing at the threat and it can be protected from this point. When you get the grip of the gun in the holster, that's your shooting grip, and it's going to transpose all the way to the target, so do not take it out of the holster until that grip is complete.
I'm just ready to get a handgun. When do I actually get a gun? You know, that's my whole thing. Is I'm ready to go out. I'm ready to start using it. I want the gun in my hand. I want to start firing it off. I'm excited. Bill's got me so revved up. I can't wait to start firing rounds of ammunition. That's what I'm looking forward to.
And as you bring it in, it comes to that ready position, and then this hand moves along your arm and into the grip that we showed you. From there, as we go into position, remember we move our weight forward on our hips, and we're going to punch out. And once we get to here, we can see the side picture, and we can disengage the safety catch. Onto target, look at the front side. And then we go into reverse. We come down to the ready position. This is our strong position. This is our rest position. From here, we check our 360s. Everything's fine. If everything's good, we can go back to the holster.
Coming up.
I don't think that I did bad, but I was definitely hoping that I would do better.
On a mission to protect his family, Howie finds it isn't as easy as it looks. How will Howie compare to the other students? We'll find out on Conceal and Carry School. Welcome back to Conceal and Carry School. Today we're following Denver family man and radio host Howie Drummond on his quest to learn handgun defense for the benefit of protecting his family.
When Howie called me and told me that he was going to fly to Texas, my first impression was, what the heck has he got himself into this time?
My coworkers don't really want me to go to Texas, because when I asked them, you know, would it be okay if I leave the show for a week, they were a little apprehensive about it.
He told me the day he was leaving that it was going to be, you know, about self-defense.
My wife's she's really unfamiliar with guns.
You know, I'm not very gun friendly, so it was, you know, a little scary.
Even when I was talking about doing this, there really wasn't a fear that I was going down and handling guns. Like for my kids, they were more afraid of, geez, Dad's down there with guns, what's going to happen?
It was a little bit disturbing for me.
She, on the other hand, still hasn't given me one way or the other how she feels about it.
I'm kind of scared of guns.
In probably one of the most important trips of his life, Howie, like 8 others from across the United States, made his way to Texas for a lesson down at Tac Pro.
You know what? I feel great. I think the foundation is there. Feeling pretty confident about getting my weapon from the holster into a safe position.
Howie's grip and stance may look good on camera, but his stylish look is preventing him from hitting his mark.
Get your side picture.
It's funny, the whole week we've been giving Howie a hard time because he's like, I'm gonna be the best.
We decided to pick on Howie because he's just the DJ and he's always on, you know, on his like microphones like, oh, good morning, Denver, I'm Howie, you know. He's really the mascot of Denver.
I don't want to be overconfident or come off cocky, but I think I'm going to do pretty well today.
Good morning, class. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to fill up both magazines with ammunition, place it on the table, and fill them up until they stop. All right, let's go dress out to the 3-yard line. All the way through this first course fire is going to be 1 round at a time. All right, I know this is getting serious, but you're supposed to be having fun too.
Now that I'm seconds away from firing my weapon, I'm not nervous at all. I'm more excited, I think, antsy, because we've spent a lot of time in the classroom learning safety, learning the procedures, and I'm just ready to get out there and start squeezing some off.
On the line! Make sure your safety device is on! Pistols to the ready position. Draw! With a magazine of 17 rounds. Take the strikes off, rack the weapon, make the weapon ready. 1 load, stand by, off!
I did have problems. In the beginning, I was shooting high, a little bit high into the left. My instructor, Michelle, told me that I was anticipating my shot a little too much. So what I was trying to do is breathe more
and just ease the trigger, squeeze it nice and slow, and just let the gun completely surprise me. And once I kind of figured that out and started putting that into effect, it seems like I did a little bit better on the target.
Bill Davison keeps the challenge on the range fresh by incorporating a second target into the mix.
You've got to keep changing the goal, and the goal's got to get harder and harder, otherwise they'll stop learning.
I'm a Jedi Knight, I see everything. Fire 2 rounds, 2 rounds, stand by.
Attackers don't always act alone. Because you could be attacked by more than one person, you should learn how to hit multiple targets.
The drill will be 2 to the big circle, 1 to the little circle.
What we don't want is after day one, they go, oh, well, you know, I don't really need to be here because I've already learned how to be safe. It's not just being safe. You've got to learn everything about the weapon itself and how to use it, and at different distances. We can't guarantee the next time they have an altercation, it's going to be 3 yards or less.
Dress forward and look at your target.
Maybe everybody else has a hole through their target, but I'm seeing this dude's still dead.
Coming up.
Before we send them home, they will be absolutely confident and safe in wearing their weapon and carrying it with them every day.
Bill Davison ratchets up the intensity, but Howie's falling behind. Will he make his family proud?
I want to be able to protect my kids.
Or will he become the laughingstock of the class? We'll find out on Conceal and Carry School.
Conceal Carry School is brought to you by Cheaper Than Dirt, America's ultimate shooting sports discounter, by Otis, the most advanced gun care system in the world, and by TN Marketing and the Personal Defense Network.
Welcome back. Howie Drummond is on the range at Tac Pro with Bill Davison and is struggling to master the fundamentals of shooting.
Howie's a little bit more hesitant. He's got the good mindset. If your head's in the right place, we can teach you anything else. If you've got mindset issues, there's nothing we can do about it.
Howie, like other celebrities, is being proactive in his personal defense. But for Howie, this isn't just about him. It's also about his wife and daughter's safety.
It's a responsibility that I take very seriously to make sure that my kids and my family are all protected.
Howie, my goodness, was the entertainment.
I think Howie's gonna be nicer to me now.
He has Howie the person, and then he's got Howie the radio guy. But he's not always like that. He's a sweetheart, but he's a total diva.
When I came here, I had more confidence in how easily I felt like this was gonna come to me, opposed to the reality of it.
Howie, you know, he is just life itself. To see his progress also, you know, he doesn't think he came as far, but he really has.
I think that I was just so negligent coming into this thing. There was times where I thought I was just gonna go out and buy a handgun and take it home, you know? And that's not what you want to do. What we're going through here, what you're seeing on this show, is a must.
Next steps, they need to practice the fundamentals. They need to go back and review. Normally, you're not going to get this depth of experience in a week anywhere.
This is an ongoing learning experience. But what I've learned in this first week helps me feel more confident that I could have a gun in my house, at least if nothing else, safely.
Though his first few days at Tac Pro have not gone as well as Howie had hoped, he's still very determined to succeed. In his eyes, there's nothing more important than the safety of his family. And like all good dads, Howie will not give up. But as we end this episode, Howie still has a lot of learning to do. And as Bill continues to increase the challenge, the question is, can Howie keep up? We will find out. Next time on Conceal and Carry School, hate crimes in America make up less than 1% of all violent crimes. However, their impact far exceeds the family of the victims. Timothy Leone will tell us his tale.